What do you want the intro to be?
You'll figure it out.
Okay, I'm just gonna.
Can we go? Like, is it?
Yeah, we're rolling.
Knock, knock.
What? Who's there?
The door.
The door.
Moo. Hit her with the wrapper out, bro. I've been waiting on it. I've been waiting on it the whole time.
Get me out! Let me escape! Let me
I
escape!
haven't stopped thinking about it since I said that.
For context, earlier, now I hate being interrupted, and Parker and Mr. Riley, we kept interrupting me while we were like prepping for the podcast, and I was like, hey guys, like you better stop interrupting me, and Parker did the freaking, you got that, you say it.
I said, have you ever heard of the interrupting cow?
And then I wouldn't let him interrupt me, and he was like, I'm not gonna do it anymore.
I never hit her with the interrupting cow until now. I came all the way around. It's a big circle. And interrupted the intro.
I genuinely hope you have like a nightmare tonight that's really bad that
Dude,
you
that's
don't
mean.
like.
That's so mean.
That I hope you wake up in the middle of the night in like a cold like sweat and you like it's dark in your room obviously and you're having to like
Obviously.
like do that because all the little like shadows look like ghosts. I hope that's what you have tonight. Anyway.
Okay.
So I don't know if you remember this familiar face. I'm sure you do, but this is Parker Saunier. Tell them a little bit about yourself.
My name is Parker. Graduated from Winfield last year. So I'm a 1 year out of school Ian. I go to Louisiana Tech, majoring in biology. Big fan of FFA.
Pretty cool. He's a pretty cool guy, I will say. I'm sorry, man.
It's too cringe.
Anyway, so I was thinking that we could like, I know you're like in college and stuff, and I know FFA is like pretty beneficial. At least I'm not in college, but doing contests has helped me kind of prep for just like high school like coursework and like, you know, socializing in high school. So I was wondering how like FFA might have helped you in college.
So I can definitely say that FFA has provided me with a lot of benefits going into college. Most of all, it's given me study skills, which is kind of a surprising thing, but it makes a lot of sense when you look into the preparing for competition side of it. You spend a lot of time studying and like memorizing for competitions. And in college, it's kind of similar. Like the time spent studying is a lot more compared to like class time and extracurriculars. So the time I spent like studying for dairy cattle, for example, was almost the exact same as studying for like a biology test. Like it's really similar. Another thing is it's definitely easier for me to like talk to people and make friends. I think FFA has given me crap has given me a way into learning how to like enter groups, talk to people, like mingle with organizations, stuff like that. And so like going around campus, it's really easy to just find people, talk to people, and just see what's up without actually knowing them.
I do, like, I've noticed a lot of people who are in FFA have a lot easier time connecting with people because, like, all of our contests, all of our competitions, all of our, like, events that we have are all kind of centered toward, like, mingling with others. And it's pretty, like, I don't know, beneficial for me. But you've mentioned, like, you know, talking to people on campus. Have you met anyone from FFA on campus and saw them again?
I've met quite a few, actually. It's really surprising. I never thought that I would meet anyone from FFA, especially like local FFA in college, but I have. Of course, my roommate is Peyton Little, past FFA state president, so that's a given. I had to shout him out. But I've met Caden Conley, Delasia, and Caroline. Caroline was my area, what's it called, the committee, area nomcom. She was part of area nomcom, and that was really surprising. Orientation to tech, I was just walking around and I saw her sitting at a table and I was like, I know her. And so I walked up, I was like, are you Caroline? She's like, yeah. She's like, you're Parker. I was like, yeah, I'm Parker. It's like, awesome. And now we're pretty close. We took some classes together, hang out. She's cool. I took a history class with Caden. That was surprising. I walked into class on the first day and I was like, this dude is actually in my class. And like we were on the same area officer team. And so I was really surprised. I didn't, like, I knew he was coming to tech. I never thought I would see him, like, at all. I've seen him probably twice. And one of those times was in history. So I sit down next to him, like how's it going, Caden? And same thing. He was like, Parker? It's like, yeah, it's me. So we talked a little bit. That was definitely surprising. I never really thought that FFA would connect me to people outside of FFA events. You don't think that you're going to go and, like, see somebody that you've met at a competition or in office together or, like, it's stuff like that. But seeing that was kind of like it was eye-opening to me. You meet these people and you're told the whole time that, like, these are lifelong friends and that you'll see these people outside of FFA. And you're like, yeah, probably, but, like, how real is that, you know? Because you're told that by a lot of things. And most of the time, like, you do make friends, but you're not, like, long-term friends. But seeing these people, like, in a community outside of FFA is really surprising. And it kind of shows that I really have made some friends outside of FFA. Like, friends with people instead of their FFA side of them. And it's really cool.
I will say, there will be times where I'm, like, going to Walmart or, like, the mall or something, and I'll see, like, people that I've, like, been in the same competition with, and we just be like, what's happening? Like, I know you, I've seen you before, and you're just going about your normal day. I feel like a lot of times, and I call this, like, the preschool, like, teacher effect, it's so weird to see, like, when you're, like, a kid, like, your preschool teacher just doing normal things because you've only seen them in, like, the setting of, like, you're at school. In my head, the only thing you're at is at school. And so when you see, like, an FFA member out and about just doing their normal life, it's so, like, cool and it's so interesting. And it's really, like, down to earth. So, Parker, that brings us to our next half of the episode. What is some of your favorite memories that we've experienced together in FFA?
Can I get you to start?
Yes.
There's a lot. I kind of want to, like, keep it focal.
So, we were both in the dairy cattle competition together, and there's one story that is forbidden that we're not going to talk about, but y'all know what it is.
The forbidden story.
It's the forbidden story. It might have something to do with ice cream, but we're not going to get into that. Instead, I would like to talk about just, like, dude, the dairy competition as a whole, because, like, we did not study for it, like, prior to actually competing, and so the entire time we're just, like, on the road, like, going to the contest, and, like, Mr. Riley's, like, turned around with, like pieces of paper, and he's like, this is what a good one looks like, this is what a bad one looks like. It's so wild, man.
I do think that the majority of my funny FFA memories come from dairy cattle. Specifically the first time I competed in it. Actually, it might have been the second, I don't really remember, but we went to the church, like, the day before the competition, and spent, like, 12 hours learning.
I'm pretty sure I had like dreams about milk that night and like what a BCI was or something, like a bulk tank, like all that sort of stuff. In my head, I was like seeing the chart and I was like placing like this class of like Jersey cows or something. It was awful.
I think that was the same year that Peyton got sick. He got sick, so he couldn't go, and that, like, threw everything off. So we took you in.
And JJ.
And we took JJ in to fill in. And that was, like, the most stressful time in my life.
I can still, like, remember Mr. Arthur, like, coming in and being like, brought me and JJ aside and was like, look, what are you doing tomorrow? And we were like, nothing. And he was like, okay, what would you do if you had a dairy competition tomorrow? And we were like, nothing. I don't know. It was awful. Also, another, like, really crazy part about that was just, like, the waiting room. Like, in between, like, after you've judged cows and you're about to give your reasons, there's, like, 40 kids in there of varying degrees of, like cowboy boots to just, like, a random person, and you're just like, what do I do? And there's so much stress. It's awful.
It's stressing me out just thinking about it. And the last time we competed, I remember, like, freaking out because I was sitting on a row by myself because, like, they split us up. So we can't, like, talk to our teammates. Like, in front of me, like, 2 rows, like, every other row, they were wearing leather jackets that had, like, dairy cattle printed on the back. And I was like, I'm sitting here looking at my notes, and I've got, like important notes, and then I got, like, doodles, and then I've got my reasons listed out, and I'm like, this ain't going well today.
I know exactly. I can see the leather, or, like, the people, like, I almost like want to say they have like cow tattooed on their face or something like that, like cows and like udders and like their arms are just covered in like I love milk, like all that sort of stuff.
It like rode in on a cow.
Yeah, like they're petting a cow as they're giving their reasons. It was so intimidating, and on top of that, you can't like think because you're either stressed about reasons or you're repeating the exact same like paragraph over and over in your head.
Yeah, you don't really get much time to like go through each reason separately. And there's 4 cows, and each cow has like a 3-sentence set of reasons, and you get like 30 seconds to run through it. And then when you're in the waiting room, you can go through them as many times as you want. So coming up there, like you're sitting in your row, you're going down the row. I would kind of sit to like the back quarter if I could, just so I had like as much time as I could, but also wasn't going to be there for like 6 hours. And just like looking through it, and you're trying to think, because like I don't remember if you know what cow you're going to go to first. Like you might have been color coded.
You're given which one to memorize.
But then you're looking at it, and you start to read it, and you're like, how am I going to remember this? And so you spend like 5 minutes just freaking out about how you're going to remember it, and then 3 minutes like memorizing it, and then you forget it, and you start freaking out again, and it's just like a repeat cycle. And so they call your name, and you stand up, and you start walking back there, and like you're saying it in your head, and you're like, I think I got it. You walk in that room, you're like, I don't got it.
Leg shaking.
And then there's like a 50-50 chance you either perfectly say it, or you just fumble through it.
Exactly. I remember, okay, this will be the last thing I say about dairy cattle because we have talked about it for a while. But I remember I memorized the wrong set and I didn't realize until the moment I stood up and they're like, okay, we're going to blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what? And so I was like, please, I swear, please just let me go to the other guy. And they let me go. But like, it was stress like no other because like, I just, like, experienced, like, the thinking, like, okay, I'm not going to be able to give it, and then I am able to give it, but as soon as, like, that relief is, like, done, I'm shoved into a room with, like, a guy with, like, a hard look and, like, a bunch of notes on his notepad. It was awful.
I want to add to that. In these rooms, it's, like, one chair, and, like, usually it's his desk because, like, it's an office, but he's sitting on the side of it, and you're approximately a foot away from each other, and you're, like, looking down at him. And so it's really awkward. You can feel him staring at you. And then, like, when you give your reason, you have words that relate to the cow specifically. And when you say that, and he'll start writing, you're like, I must have used the wrong word.
Yeah, you're like, strong mammary gland?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's awful.
You say something like, long, lean, and then he gets a, you're like.
Or he'll do one of these.
I actually experienced that firsthand. I think I got a low score on that cow.
It's really funny, man. If you haven't done the dairy cattle competition, 10 out of 10 recommend for, like, bonding team experience.
I think all around experience. The team experience is the best part, even though it's not really team-based. It's just fun.
It's also fun to, like, after, like, you're judging, like, because you're not allowed to be at the same judging station, and so you'll just walk past each other, and someone will be like...
Yeah. Or throwing up, like weird hand signals as you're walking past you. You're like... I don't know what's going on in here.
Or they'll be like, calves, it's calves.
Yeah.
We're done for. It's so bad.
Calves. Oh, man, calves. We're not going to talk about that.
We're not
going to talk about calves.
We're changing.
Oh, wait, no. The first time I competed in dairy cattle was COVID.
Actually, I do want to talk about that.
Holy cow, bro. It was the worst experience of my entire life. I could not have been prepared for a worse experience.
Okay, for context.
Man.
So, this was my freshman year, and I did 2 contests over COVID. How they did dairy cattle specifically, it was like, okay, so we weren't allowed to be there, so they had to show us pictures. And you're on this, like, Zoom call that already it's lagging. It's, like, pausing and stopping and just awful. And on top of that, the pictures they're showing you are, like, if you had, like, the lights off and you had a very glossy Polaroid picture and you took a picture with that Polaroid picture with an iPod Touch that had the flash on.
Yeah.
Like, it was, like, genuinely, like, overexposed, like, could not see a thing. It was awful.
That's a beautiful explanation of what it looked like. I think even worse, like, surprisingly, it gets worse. There were videos, but, like, the videos were from the POV of, like, a FaceTime, probably like 340p, 12 FPS a second. Couldn't see the cow at all. And he's just walking behind it. And he's like, this is cow number 3. You're like, I can't see the cow. Like, there's no cow there. I see, like, blue, some white. Yeah. And then when you're supposed to write reasons, we didn't even do reasons.
No.
Which was insane. It was kind of like a memorization contest at that point, which it didn't make sense. Like, looking at the cows, you're like, I don't know what this cow has and what it doesn't have.
I genuinely cannot see anything except for that it's brown. Like, that's all.
Like, try setting up, like, 12 mirrors like this so it just keeps bouncing off, and recording the first mirror and sprinting past the rest to catch the reflection. And that's what the cow was.
So
like,
bad.
you couldn't see depth at all. And, like, you have to be able to see the depth of, like, the ribs and stuff. No. There was no way you were seeing any depth in those videos.
Also, I did the nursery competition in COVID. And, like, in nursery, obviously you have to, like, look at plants. But how they would record it was they would, like, let's say the plant is here, they would, like, not getting a still image at all. And they would, like, go around it and, like, again, lagging, like, blurry pictures. And so you would, like, zoom in and, like, it would be like, is that white? Oh, never mind. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
really bad. So we've talked about Derek Cattle. What else? Is that the only thing you know about me?
I mean, you're kind of a stranger to me. That was a joke.
I might actually see myself out.
Feel free.
I was hoping you would be like, no, please, Alyssa, please stay.
I don't know.
You have 3
There's
seconds to answer.
No, you answered. There's a lot. Like, some of it's kind of dumb. A lot of it's really dumb.
I feel like a lot of, like, the fun of FFA is just, like, the moments, like, right before a competition or, like, the studying, like, moments where you're like, what are we doing? Like, I feel like that just, like, creates so many memories.
I think some of the best ones are probably, like, chapter meetings.
Yes.
Just preparing for that. Those are always really fun. And, like, not stressful at all in any way. It's, like, really clear. Like, you have, like, it's, like, one goal with one path, and you follow that path all the way through. There's, like, you don't trip over anything. And it always works out.
There's no roadblocks.
At all.
Ever.
What a
There's
perfect
actually
world.
never been a roadblock when
Yeah.
doing a chapter meeting.
I think actually one roadblock was that there weren't any roadblocks. Like, it was just, like, it was fun to always, or it wasn't fun to, like, always get it perfectly.
It was so smooth sailing that, like, we almost weren't sailing, you know?
All right, this bit's gone on a little bit too long.
Okay, I think we've talked long enough. We could stay here for another hour if that's what you want.
I mean, what time is it?
I don't want to.
I got 40 minutes.
I don't want to stay here for another
I got
hour.
40 minutes. We can keep going.
I don't want to stay here for another hour.
Thank you for your time, Alyssa.
We have a tradition on this podcast where every single episode we're asked a different question. So you'll ask me a question and then I'll ask you a question.
Okay.
And then we'll close off.
Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather bacon, but no bacon and infinite games? Or no games, bacon, infinite games? I got it wrong.
You did get it wrong. Like, mega
All the way
wrong.
wrong.
But I'll catch
Answer
you
it.
in the next question. The second option.
Okay, well, I want to ask a different one. That
Okay.
was dumb. Would you rather eat sauce or skydive?
Skydive. Actually, the thought of eating sauce is, like, genuinely, like, I can't put into words, but I can, like, feel it, like, in my mouth, and it makes me, like, want to rip my skin off. Genuinely.
That's crazy.
Cannot imagine a worse feeling. I can, but, like,
You're missing out.
no.
Like, a lot. Like, you've never had Chick-fil-A sauce?
No, and I never want Chick-fil-A sauce.
I got like 3 bottles of it at my house.
Oh, dude, that's good. That's good for you. I'm glad.
Okay.
I'm glad it's at your house and not my house.
Okay, Alyssa.
So, Parker, would you rather bacon and no games
Dude.
and unlimited bacon? Or would you rather unlimited games, no bacon, no games?
Unlimited bacon, no games, no games. That was your second option.
Unlimited games, no bacon, no games was my second option.
Then I pick option A.
Okay. Whatever. How do you want to end it off?
Why not?
Who's there?
You ever heard of the interrupting cow?
No.
Good.
What? Okay, bye guys.